All right, let's get right into it. We hear about new medicines all the time, right? But what we're talking about today is on a whole different level. We're going straight to the source code of life itself.
I mean, really think about that. Instead of just taking pills to manage symptoms for your entire life, what if we could just go in and fix the one tiny thing that was broken to begin with? That's the incredible promise of gene therapy.
So, to wrap our heads around this, let's use an analogy. Picture your body as this massive, super complex factory. It's working 24/7, and every single one of your cells is a part of that factory, keeping the whole operation running smoothly.
Okay, so inside that factory, a gene is like one tiny, specific part of the machinery. And if that one little part is faulty, well, it can cause the entire production line to grind to a halt. See, most medicines just clean up the mess that the broken machine makes. Gene therapy, on the other hand, wants to go in there and actually fix the machine itself.
And that's the key difference. This isn't about managing a disease, it's about a permanent correction. The whole idea is to get new working genetic material, DNA or RNA, into a patient's cells to fix the underlying error that's causing all the trouble in the first place.
Yeah, this is the big one. It's one thing to have a new, corrected gene sitting in a lab, but how do you deliver it to the right cells when there are literally trillions of them in your body? That was the huge technical hurdle for scientists for decades.
The solution they came up with is, honestly, genius. Scientists use viruses as delivery vehicles. Now, before you panic, these viruses are completely harmless. They've had all the disease-causing parts stripped out. All that's left is their amazing natural ability to get inside cells, which makes them the perfect microscopic mail carriers for delivering the good gene.
And it's not a one-size-fits-all kind of thing. Different jobs require different mail services. For cells that don't divide a lot, like in the eye, they might use something called an AAV. But for cells that are always dividing, like blood cells, they use a lentivirus, which actually stitches the new gene right into the cell's own DNA for a permanent fix.
For a long time, gene therapy was all about adding a gene to make up for a broken one. But then, a totally revolutionary tool came along that allowed for something way more precise, actually editing our genes. And this quote just nails it. This new tool, called CRISPR-Cas9, was a total game changer. It gave scientists the power to not just add a new instruction, but to go into the existing genetic code, find a single mistake, a tiny typo, and correct it. It's incredibly precise.
So how does it work? Well, it's basically a two-part system. First, you've got the CRISPR part. Think of it like a molecular GPS that hones in on the exact spot in your DNA that needs to be fixed. Then you've got the Cas9 enzyme, which is like a pair of tiny molecular scissors that makes a clean cut right at that spot.
And that cut is everything. It creates this perfect opportunity. Scientists can then either just disable a bad gene that's causing problems, or they can trick the cell into using its own repair system to paste in a new, correct sequence, permanently fixing the error.
You know, the most amazing part about all this? This isn't some cool idea for the future. This is not science fiction. These therapies are curing real people, right now.
I'm talking about things like Luxturna, a therapy that treats an inherited form of blindness, and groundbreaking new cures for blood disorders like sickle cell disease and beta thalassemia, where a single genetic typo has caused a lifetime of suffering and now it can be corrected.
For sickle cell, the process is just wild. Doctors take some of a patient's own blood stem cells. They take them to a lab and use CRISPR to edit them and fix that faulty gene. And then they put those newly corrected healthy cells back into the patient, giving them a potential lifelong cure from their own cells.
So yeah, when you put this all together, it is absolutely not an exaggeration to say we have entered a brand new era of medicine. It's a time of just incredible potential.
We've moved beyond just treating symptoms. We are now at a point where we can literally edit and correct the very instructions of life itself. Just let that sink in for a second. The power to do this is just profound. It opens up a future of possibilities that we are only just beginning to imagine. The ability to edit our own source code is here. So the big question now isn't just what can we do, it's what will we choose to do with it.